Welcome to GameMate Corp, a monthly podcast where we reach into the Imagosphere and pull out the next great video game idea. I'm the CEO of GameMate Corp, Beckers.
And I am the CEO of GameMate Corp, Bryce.
Last time on this podcast, we made I Can't Bear It. How'd that do, Bryce?
That was a surprisingly successful game.
Why?
Because of the reasons you would suspect. So much so that people have been demanding, knocking on our front door, talking to our good receptionist, Zelda Fitzgerald. That one. Yep. We all know her. And asking to make it a cooperative adventure.
Okay. Do you want to do that?
Yeah, we're gonna put a cooperative sequel to it, and we're gonna call it Bear With Us. Bear With Us is coming to you.
All right. Okay.
In the future.
All right. So let's make games.
Please bear with us as we work on.
No.
As we work on Bear With Us.
All right. Good one. We made it there, and now we're getting out of it.
Okay.
Do you have another game idea, Bryce?
Do you know how people can give us game ideas?
Frankly, they can slide into our DMs if they want. You can tweet #GameMateCorp. You can just be like, what about if socks came alive and they told us what they thought about us? Like, that could be a game, and you could just tweet it and we would probably use it. Because we don't, our standards, that's where they're at.
Yep. I have a game idea, which I'm not like 100. I'm not 100% sure that I haven't done this before, but both you and our editor were not able to confirm that I have, and it is, as the kids say, #spooky season. At least when we're recording this. I present to you Graveyard Keeper 2, Not Enough
Electric
Bodies.
Boogaloo.
Yes, because all sequels have to be called Electric Boogaloo because it does
Only
rhyme.
The second one.
Because it rhymes with the number 2.
Yeah, but if it's a third iteration, then nope, it doesn't have to be Electric Boogaloo. Only the second one.
Then it's Attack of the Clones.
So anyway.
So, Graveyard Keeper 2, Not Enough Bodies. How does a Graveyard Keeper make their money?
They get paid by local government.
I don't think that's true.
Who pays them then?
The people who need their bodies buried in the graveyard. You pay
people?
You pay burial fees. You know, the live people. I mean, yeah, you could say like, one day I will not be on above the land, so I'm going to pay now so that they can put me below the ground.
So here's my deal.
One day we're all future.
Don't graveyard keepers like mow the lawn and stuff and like wipe off your headstone when stuff grows on it? Isn't that what they do?
We're assuming that this is the man in charge of the whole graveyard organization. He's not like the lawn mowing graveyard keeper. He's the man in charge of the great cemetery of Winston Town.
It's less graveyard keeper and more graveyard mogul.
Sure. Yeah, he's just the king of the dead. You die in this town, you got to come see him. and his name is. I wanted to go Bilbo, but we really did that one. We laid on that one last time. This time it's Becker's time to pick a name.
Steve.
Steve. His name's Steve, the graveyard mogul, the keeper of the dead. So you die, you go see Steve. Well, you have someone, you know someone who dies. You go see Steve. If he's a necromancer, that's an expansion pack we'll look into later. But normally, someone who alive goes sees Steve about their dead person, and you pay for the caskets, and you dig the hole, you put them in the hole. It's great. It is a great thing, the service you are providing. But as time goes on, the modern medicine is just really keeping the graveyard mogul down. People aren't dying like they used to.
Maybe this would have been a more appropriate game in a different time period.
No, by the time this comes out, that'll be over.
Okay.
Long gone thought. We won't even.
Okay.
Also, this is set in a different time period.
Yeah, 2019.
I'm thinking this is set in the, I don't know, 1800s or something. Where it is not a guy with a big shovel digger thing that's mechanical. Those Tonka truck the thing.
Tonka truck?
Yeah.
I think they call it some kind of cat.
I'm pretty sure Cat's the brand.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. We're both idiots in this regard.
No.
Are you looking it up? Are you going to try and tell me what the name of the machine that digs things real good is?
A black cat is what they call it.
That's the name of a firecracker.
No, you.
Uh-huh.
A backhoe.
Backhoe. That's what we were looking for. Backhoe.
I thought that was what they called your mom.
Did that feel good? Are you happy with that one?
I felt good about it.
Okay. So yeah, this is the 1800s. They don't have backhoes or black hats or any of these words that Becker's said. They just have a shovel, and they need to pay their bills. They need to eat, and to do that, they need those bodies. But as I said, people figured out this penicillin nonsense. People just ain't dying like they used to, and there's one way to ensure that you get enough of those bodies, and that's make some of those bodies. So this is a game in which you have to secretly cause deaths so that you can then bury those bodies to then create more business for yourself to make so you'll have soup to eat. What do you think?
So that you have soup to eat.
Yeah, because in the olden days, people ate soap.
What if you have higher aspirations?
Than being a graveyard keeper?
No, than just eating soup. What if you want to be a graveyard keeper, but you also want a nice mansion? Here's what you do.
Okay.
You marry in to the wealthiest family in town.
Okay.
And then you kill them and bury them in your graveyard.
Mm-hmm.
then you get paid for that, and then you also inherit all the money.
Has anyone ever considered that being a graveyard keeper makes you impervious to murder accusations? They never look for the dead bodies in the grave.
What?
Whenever someone's like, this person is missing, we believe they've been murdered, we just need to find their body, they never check the graveyard.
Dude.
What?
That'd be like freshly dug earth. Yeah, that's actually quite normal. And if people dig up the dirt in a graveyard, you'd be like, dude, that's messed up.
Yeah. And then you just put their body underneath somebody else's body, and they'd be like,
what are they gonna do? Dig up all the graves and test them all? No. Bro. We better not release this. This is a good idea.
There's just gonna be a run on people trying to join the graveyard industry.
Yeah, to fix their grudges.
Yeah, and that is why we're gonna make millions off this game. Is that the graveyard industry? We're gonna put this out, and then graveyard schools.
No, what we have to release this to like other people first, so that they'll pay us not to release it. You know what I mean?
We release it to like rich families of like. You probably don't want people to play this game and learn about how.
They could do.
Yeah. And they'll be like, yeah, whatever you want. Because that's how that would work.
All right, so Graveyard Keeper 3 would just be about tax evasion and managing your finances.
Graveyard Keeper 3, too many bodies. Now you have to figure out where to put them all. It's like a Tetris game.
Graveyard Keeper 3, not enough graveyards.
At that point, you have to make enough money to be able to buy up more land to spread out your graveyard.
Now it's really become like one of those mobile games where you just keep expanding your business. You keep clicking.
While also murdering.
Each click is you stuffing a body into a grave.
Yep. As fun.
And then you watch the numbers get bigger.
It's fun.
I like those games where you watch the numbers get bigger.
Yep. Numbers are fun. Why don't you bring us to the number 2 game?
Number 2, because it's the shit. Here it comes. An open world HP game.
I like when Beckers reveals that her game is bad from the start.
No, it's the shit. That's an expression for good.
Do you consider poop good?
First is the worst. Second is the best.
I mean, would be a better one for you to have said, because when I
said both because more is always better. All right, so open world HP game. This was suggested by Dr. Fidget and Rachel with Cats on Twitter in conjunction because more brains makes better ideas. So this is going to be an open world game about America's favorite company, Hewlett-Packard.
What is your favorite Hewlett-Packard product?
I personally am a huge fan of the $50 pen I found on their website because I had to look up what all products they had before I started this venture.
What do you enjoy about this pen, and also can you stop playing with the pens on your table?
I can't stop. I need a silent fidget cube or something because I keep dropping things and throwing things, and I am doing it while I'm talking, which is even gooder. So, anyway, do you know what products Hewlett-Packard what they make?
I believe they are responsible for computers.
Yeah, computers and printers and copiers and like all of the fixins that go with computers.
The fixins.
Fixins.
I love when I go get some computer, I get all those fixins.
All the fixins, the stuff that you need to use a computer, like a keyboard and a mouse and headphones, monitors, whatever.
Those Thanksgiving fixins.
All those fixins. They also have a tablet which I know is so popular. Everyone's got their Hewlett Packard tablet, and then they have calculators, backpacks, and have you ever heard of McAfee? How do you say it?
McAfee.
I don't, whatever. It's the security system, the antivirus thing, or whatever.
Yep.
Apparently, that's Hewlett Packard.
So they're the wrongdoers. So it's a open world Hewlett Packard game. Is it an RPG? Is it a World of Warcraft?
It's open world.
Is it open world? Red Dead Redemption is technically open world. World of Warcraft is open world.
That's exactly. Red Dead Redemption, obviously.
Here's a question for you, Beckers.
You ride around on a copier.
Is Pokemon Go an open world video game?
No.
Okay.
Yes. No, because you can't go wherever you want because you're limited by the abilities of your body and your wallet.
Okay. So wait, what kind of game is this though?
Open world.
But what does that mean?
Okay, so let me think. So Breath of the Wild is an open world game too, isn't it?
Yes. This will be the part of the podcast where we name every open world game that we can think of.
So what's the point of that game?
To defeat Ganon.
Defeat the bad guy?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so who's the bad guy in Hewlett Packard world?
Lack of efficiency. They're here to bring their excellent suite of office products to crush inefficiency in your workplace.
Okay, so inefficiency man.
Can this be like Chex Quest, where it's like a rebranding of a different video game, but with like Hewlett Packard stuff, and we can like every time you buy a printer from them, they throw in a copy, and like every Hewlett Packard computer has it pre-installed.
I'm glad you bring that up because that's exactly why we're doing this right now. I've received a sponsorship from HP, and they were all like, make a game out of this so that we can, for some reason, give it away for free as a promotion. And it's going to be so good. Everyone's going to be like, dude, I have to buy a copier. I have no reason to have a copier in my house where it's just like me and my dogs, and I don't think I've ever copied anything before, but I need one to get this game.
Yep.
And how long is this game going to be? 2 hours?
Well, okay, here's my thinking. So do you know the great story of the video game Chex Quest?
No.
So Chex Quest...
You said that, and I just ignored it, because I was hoping I could get by with that.
Chex Quest was a video game that the Chex cereal people provided.
Kellogg's?
Yep, they put in...
General Mills?
They put... You don't know.
You're right. That's why I was asking.
I couldn't tell you. I'm really in General Mills. If I had to put money on it, I would say General Mills.
It's General Mills.
Yeah, I'll take my money now.
Beep, 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 beep. Why don't I have an air horn bound to my sound pad yet?
Anyway, I was telling you about the great story of Chex Quest. Okay, so Chex Quest was a video game provided into the Chex cereal that when you purchased Chex cereal, you would receive this game. And it is a reskin of the original Doom. The shoot 'em up, demon slaying game Doom, but now reskinned, in which you are a Chex warrior who has to defeat the evil Slimoids and rescue the Chex scientists. And you would get different cereal-based weaponry to battle them. Like your starting weapon was like a spinning spoon. And then later you would get different like teleportation things because you couldn't kill the Slimoids. That's murder. We're just teleporting them to their home dimension. And it was so loved. The Chex Quest video game was so loved that people have remade it, and it is now available to download an HD version currently in the time that we exist, and you can buy a collector's edition of the video game with like a poster and stuff. So we need to capture that hot Chex Quest market, but with HP.
Exactly what I was saying. So you are the HP hero.
So, okay. So I think what we need to do here, like the great Chex Quest people, we need to take a different game because we're not crazy here. We ain't gonna take this. We'll take this money, but we ain't building an entire game. We take somebody else's game and we put HP into it. Is what I think is the way to go. What do you think?
HP hero.
Okay. Go ahead.
And the enemy, who's the enemy? Because I asked you this before and you
Inefficiency.
That was a close one. I was going to say you said something dumb and then
it was inefficiency.
How are we going to fight that, Bryce? Why are you attached? Go ahead. You have to have some kind of idea if you're doing this. Go.
It's a game. Oh my god. Okay, so here's what I want to do. You know Breath of the Wild. We talked about Breath of the Wild. I want to make a Breath of the Wild HP reskin.
Okay. Yes. Perfect. Love
Where
I'm with you.
Each of the enemies, you're seeing, instead of a mogoblin or whatever they are office workers not working efficiently. You'll be running down the mountains, and then there's a person like just standing by a slow printer, not doing their stuff.
Obviously,
good.
Some other brand.
Yeah, just some bad thing. And so you'll be going around collecting different weapons in the form of Hewlett-Packard products, like you do in Breath of the Wild, but instead of swords, here is a printer. And so now you will see somebody kind of like, being inefficient, and then you can whack them with the good HP printer, and then they will suddenly become efficient and fade away because they're doing their job good. And so, but then eventually your weapons will break, so you'll have to collect more Hewlett-Packard products, thus allowing us to provide the entire suite of HP products in the video game and make them very desirable.
So the HP hero, what's his name gonna be?
Jeff.
I thought maybe it would be some kind of thinly veiled allusion to Link. But sure, let's go with Jeff.
Stink.
Dink?
Stink.
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 Okay, so Stink. Stink will go around the open world collecting gadgets, all of the different HP products. He's gonna have to do quests for them and also find them under rocks.
You know how like you can start off with a twig? I feel like that's the pen. The pen that you spoke of.
No way, this is a $50 pen.
Or are you thinking...
I'm thinking that this pen is like the ultimate item.
Oh, so it's the Master Sword.
The Master Sword is this pen, obviously. It's mobile, and also I'm picturing you can just like draw stuff in the air and then it just appears. That's why the pen's so expensive.
Yeah, just like in real life, that is why the real life pen costs
it's so
$50.
expensive.
Yeah.
It's like a digital stylus pen or whatever to draw on the tablet nobody bought,
And the tablet is like $20.
I did not look at how much the tablet costs. I can only assume it's like $100,000.
You researched this topic well, but before bringing this game idea, I'm pleased with what you.
I don't know if you're being sarcastic or not.
It's the shades.
But the pen is $50.
It's the shades. You can't tell.
Nobody knows you're wearing shades because everyone listens to it. They don't watch it.
Now everybody will watch it and see the shades.
No, they won't. They won't pull up YouTube just to see your shades.
YouTube.com/lastgeek. I'm sure they will.
All right. Whatever.
If I can make Beckers laugh once per episode, I feel like I did a good job today. So we're just gonna end it here. Thank you for coming. But before we go,
okay, now we're gonna move on to the next thing and defeat inactivity, whatever, with our special pen, whatever. All right, let's do the investor shout out.
Do it.
It's me. I'm gonna shout it out. So you can go to patreon.com/lastgeek and you can sign up and you can be an investor and then we'll shout you out. So this is what it is. Aaron C., in your honor, I will now begin reciting the lyrics to WAP.
I've never actually heard the song.
You haven't?
I've never heard of it. I know it exists. I've never heard it.
It is so obscene and it's amazing. It's like perfect. I love it and I hate it. It's obscene.
Okay.
But my favorite part, it's about parking a Big Mac truck in a little garage. I think that's the best lyric I can share without straight up saying any words I feel uncomfortable saying.
I feel like that would break the garage. It's like size constraints.
That was for you, Aaron. And if you invest, you too could get something like that.
Describe something like that. That's not that.
Maybe I'll choose another beautiful love song to recite, except the next one I'll actually do it. I've done it. I've actually written a song before. One time I drew a picture. Yep. And I didn't send it because they didn't sign up for that option, but I showed it.
Mm-hmm.
So who knows what could happen? Anything could happen.
Anything.
But you know one thing for sure, your name will be said on air and we'll say that you're the best.
We'll say something.
Say something.
And your name.
Aaron is so smart and pretty and kind.
Yep.
Next.
I guess you want me to do a video game idea.
Yes, please do. It's time.
I'm gonna pull up the Wikipedia article because I know very little about this topic, and that makes the greatest things ever.
Okay, so we will just
Three's Company Simulator is the game I have for you today. It is an Three's Company. God, I wonder how many people who listen to this podcast would just like know what Three's Company is. Do you know what Three's Company is previous to me speaking about it?
It's an old show and it involves at least 3 people.
Yep. Three's Company is an American sitcom television that aired for 8 seasons on ABC from March 15th, 1977 until September 18th, 1984. This show's entire run existed before I did, but for some reason I know of its existence. That is how important it is to culture, the entire culture. Oh my God. I'm just like glancing over the contents on the Wikipedia, and number 8 is TV movie, which I think will
What?
Yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna read you the plot of Three's Company, as the Wikipedia article states. After crashing a party and finding himself passed out in the bathtub, culinary student Jack Tripper meets Janet Wood, a florist, and Chrissy Snow, a secretary. In need of a new roommate to replace their departed roommate, Eleanor. Departing.
Oh, I was like, dearly departed?
No, just no.
So she's dead.
No, fine. Having only been able to afford to live at the YMCA, Jack quickly accepts the offer to move in with the duo. However, due to the overbearing landlord Stanley Roper's intolerance of co-ed living situations, even in a multi-bedroom apartment, Jack is allowed to move in only after Janet tells Mr. Roper that Jack is gay. There's other stuff. Mrs. Roper finds out right away. Mr. Roper is a real jerk. Eventually, the Ropers, the people who run the building, got their own spin-off show, The Ropers. And then a new guy, Ralph Furley, takes over as the owner of the complex, but they have to still keep up the ruse. The entire plot of this show seems to be focused around 3 people having to pretend that one of them is gay. So yes, this show ran for 8 seasons and apparently had a movie.
What was the movie about?
In May 2000, so this makes sense. In May 2003, NBC aired a 2-hour television movie entitled Behind the Camera. Behind the Camera. Because Camry's a car. Behind the Camera, the unauthorized story of Three's Company, a docudrama featuring actors, blah, 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 blah. It was about, like, how this show got made or some junk. What? But in 2016, New Line Cinema began negotiating to pick up the film rights to Three's Company. So they were going to try and make a movie, like a real movie about it. Man, I don't know. Like, what are you going to do? Anyway, so this is a 3-player cooperative game in which you need to live together and complete tasks as roommates. You got to do the laundry. You got
in the end of Three's Company, does the guy end up with one of them?
I don't believe so.
Interesting.
Oh, no, actually, I do know the answer to that, because in the plot synopsis, it says, Jack continues the charade when the new building manager, Ralph Furley, takes over the apartment complex because Mr. Furley insists that his hard-nosed brother Bart, the new building's owner, would never tolerate such living situations. Jack eventually meets his love interest, Vicky Bradford, which leads into Three's a Crowd. There's a sequel TV show called Three's a Crowd, which lasted from...
There's a lot of lore involved in this.
Okay, so it lasted 1 season. Yeah. And then, yeah, the show had a spinoff. The Ropers had a spinoff, which lasted 2 seasons. But we're focused on the three players have to be roommates together, and they have to pretend... They have to pretend one of them is gay, but the players don't know which one of them is supposed to be the gay one.
But if there's 3 of them,
yeah,
that should make it obvious.
So they all look androgynous, as far as the players can tell.
They're just like Fall Guys blobs.
They don't see gender, yeah. But their landlord does.
But the landlord does.
He's very
I was going to say, well, in this world, then...
Yeah.
Well, then doesn't that...
It's a futuristic world in which the young people of the generation have moved past genders, but the landlord has not. He is a millennial, and he just doesn't get it.
How dare you? Yep, Take that back.
One day the millennials will be the intolerant generation that
oh my god.
The Zoomers are saying
the Zoomers will inherit the earth. Yep. Actually, what's after Zoomers? Because now it's gonna be them.
Yeah, I don't think we're there yet. I don't think we have a name for
All
them.
right, because it goes like XYZ, and now what? We've ran out of alphabet. Actually, people are calling them Gen Alpha. I think I remember that.
Okay.
Now we've run out of the regular alphabets, the Greek alphabet.
How did we even like? Why did it start being like Gen Y? Like, when did we do the rest of the alphabets? I feel like we just skipped.
It's because they started with Gen X because they thought it sounded cool, and then they were naming millennials, and they were just like, okay, well, Y comes after X.
Yeah,
and they just kept doing that.
We kind of skipped through the generation. Anyway. Yeah, so people don't know which one of them is gay. So every once in a while, the landlord will just show up unannounced, and then you have to make it appear that you. Okay, so here's what you have to make it appear that one of you is gay. The landlord knows which one of you is supposed to be gay, but the players do not. But what you have to help you is that you can see the suspicion meter on the landlord when I think at all times you can see the suspicion meter. So like when he comes in, one of you could like pretend to be gay, and then if he doesn't seem suspicious, you're like, that's probably it. But maybe you're wrong, and maybe he was just chill that day. I don't know. I just know that along with this, you're also going to have... Oh, yes! It's Fall Guys. I like this now. Okay, because I know that a thing that was with Three's Company was that there would be a lot of, like, shenanigans where, like, oh, let me help you grab this thing off the top shelf. Oh no, we tripped over each other, and now Jack is laying on top of Janet, and the landlord just walked in. He'll probably think we were kissing. Oh, we'll get busted for sure. But then it works out because it lasts 8 seasons, I guess. So, yeah, you have to do tasks as... Am I just making Among Us but with Fall Guys?
You're all over the place.
I am, but now I'm liking the idea of Among Us with Fall Guys.
Three's Company, Among Us. Among guys.
Fallen for you guys. This is nothing. I don't know if this is anything, but I'm pretty sure it's nothing, and you're not helping me with any of these.
I don't like it.
Okay, you want to do one?
All right, let's get out. I hate it. Let's get out of here. The next game idea.
What? What?
I took it off of Twitter from a thing called Game Idea Bot.
Mm-hmm.
It randomly generated this idea. It says something like Siege, where you smuggle random people and you can't stop gaining powers. So this one attracted me because of the phrase can't stop gaining powers, as though it's something you don't want to happen. All right, so the first part, something like Siege. I kind of Googled it. I don't really know what it means by siege. I asked Bryce. He said like cops and robbers or some shit. All right, so you're gonna be a robber then, because you're gonna smuggle random people.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna rob places of their people. And for every person you smuggle,
were you smuggling them too?
You're smuggling them.
Because I guess when I pictured it, like siege is, you have captured somebody. It is a hostage situation. Whereas smuggling, I'm almost thinking like getting someone from Mexico to America, or like you smuggle drugs up your butt.
Yes, yeah. So you're doing that. You're taking a random person in a random country. You're kidnapping them and you're smuggling them to a different country.
So is it...
But they can't want it because it has to be random people. You pick a person at random. You take them to Russia.
Mm-hmm.
And then you kidnap a Russian person.
Mm-hmm.
And you take them to Ireland.
Mm-hmm.
And you just keep going from there. You just keep taking a random person, take them somewhere else. When you take them to the other new place, you pick up a new person. They don't want to go. They don't know nothing, but you're doing it. And for every person you take, you get a random power.
Okay.
And you can't stop. Okay, let's back this up.
See, I feel like the problem here is that you can't stop gaining powers, not that you can't stop smuggling.
Yes. Okay, so here's the deal. You can't stop gaining powers. The only way to slow it down is by smuggling random people.
Okay.
And the better that you do this, the faster you do this, like the more you'll delay the gaining of powers. So let's discuss what powers you could have that you do not want. Because I'm thinking like sometimes you get the beast power from X-Men and you're just like, I didn't want this. This sucks. Now I am blue and everyone's looking at me like I look like the way that I look.
Yep. I mean, technically that's not his. At what point is it a power and what point is it a mutation? Because technically his power is super strength. He started off looking like a dude and then later he grew fur. I don't think
he looked like a dude, but his hands were all weird and stuff. His feet.
That's rude.
His feet and his hands were all weird.
Yep.
Him being smart is just him. That has nothing to do with it.
Yeah, the strength thing is his power.
Well, he's a beast.
Yep. I mean, okay.
Okay, fine. Nightcrawler. He also looks freaky.
I mean, I think he looks cute.
But most people would look at him and be like, bro, stay out away from that thing.
I mean,
who knows what it does?
Isn't their power being shitty?
And as you get more and more powers,
yeah,
you have to smuggle more and more betterer because the game level's advancing. But now you can teleport, but you have to be carefuler because no one will go with you into a dark alley because you look like Nightcrawler now.
I'm gonna give you powers that aren't rude. Like,
what do you mean?
Like saying this person looks bad.
Nightcrawler's not real, and people don't look like that. So what's the deal?
If someone looked
you
like
mean
that,
rude?
If someone looked like that, it would be rude to consider.
Well, listen, if you have blue fur all over your body, and like that, you look weird. And you got this tail situation, and he had yellow eyes. You look weird. People are gonna look at you funny. I think you would know that.
I do not back up that statement.
Geez.
If you are very hairy and have a tail, I think that looks cool and I support you.
And you're blue and you have yellow eyes. Yeah, you're freaky. You should get that checked.
What? How would you get that checked? What would you do?
Go to a doctor and you'd say, help me.
Oh, help me not look like this, even though this is what this is who I am.
You're like, what's wrong with me? And he'll be like, oh, you're a mutant. I can't help you. And then at least you'll know. And you can carry around a card.
I'm pretty sure like the whole thing of mutants was that like they're, this is who they are and people should accept them for who they are.
Well, if you carry around a card to explain. I mean, okay, but in this world, it's not freaking mutant land. It's literally just the regular world. You're the only one.
So, smell-o-vision. You don't want that.
Ooh.
Don't smell.
What? It's details. I want details.
You have to smell everything that comes off TVs.
Ew. You wouldn't be able to watch a lot of stuff. However, the Cooking Network, dude, that'd be my jam.
No, you'd be hungry all the time.
Yeah, but anyways, no, you definitely wouldn't want to, because then, yeah. And then when you're sick, you wouldn't be able to watch anything, because all the smells would bother you.
Yeah.
They should have, like, a clean linens channel.
Super hearing, but, like, all the time.
Oh, man. You can't sleep because someone 3 neighborhoods away is hanging up a picture from the wall. But you get even better at smuggling people.
Like because like I think like you can't tell if someone's sneaking up on you because you are hearing shit like 3 blocks over because there's so much noise. It's like, someone's playing music like a city over and you're like, I hear this song instead of the guy next to me trying to talk.
Yeah, but who's going to sneak up on you? You can also teleport away because you're a Nightcrawler too.
Okay.
Okay, so next power. I'm excited. This is fun.
Knowing what everyone's farts smell like.
So super smell? We're just going to add that on into your smell-o-vision and super hearing?
No, like you meet someone and like you just can automatic, like you have in your brain, you're like, I know what their farts smell like. So they don't have to fart. You just know it. It's like you just interacting with another human being, you gain this knowledge about them. So that each time you're smuggling someone, you have to like smell their farts, even if they don't fart.
Oh no! So you just touch them and you know.
Yeah, you know what their farts smell like. Their smelliest fart, because sometimes you have an odorless one, but the smelliest fart they've ever done,
When you touch someone, you immediately smell the smelliest fart they've ever farted.
Yeah.
Question: why would that even be a superpower? At least our other ones are.
You said a power.
That's true.
Like, I mean, My Hero
Gaining powers. Okay,
yeah,
so
My Hero Academia. There's some people with some shitty powers.
Yeah, a lot of them are just like really ugly.
There's some ugly ones. There's the lady who can like make small objects float. Is like okay, and then probably the ones that have really bad powers. They just don't put them in the show.
What about like there was that one guy? If you ever just like look at the crowd of the My Hero Academia people when they're speaking to a crowd or something, there's always really weird freaking people in the crowd. One guy was literally just a pencil.
Yeah.
And there's someone else who's just like a rectangle. He looked like a box a pencil would come in. If pencils came in boxes. Because it was long and rectangular.
Being really good at Tetris and not being able to shut up about it. To be clear, not being able to shut up about it isn't part of the power set, but if you're that good at Tetris, you're not going to shut up about it.
Pooping super glue.
Can you actually get it out, though?
Yes.
Okay.
It's liquid when it comes out, and then it dries eventually. So you have to carry around a solvent all the time, but I imagine once in a while it could come in handy.
For sure. I mean,
you could always like carry around a little bottle and then like poop into it. Very carefully, like spread your cheeks. Wipe with special solvent wipes.
What if
Definitely don't flush those.
What if like Spider-Man, like, so Spider-Man made his spider webs. Those aren't actually part of his thing.
Yeah. Well, it depends on which one you read.
Yeah, there's like one version. I think where it does come out of him, but for the most part he makes them. But in a world where it comes out of his body, what if it comes
out of a butt? Like, that's accurate.
What if
that's how spiders do it?
What and he has to shoot it off every once in a while, or else it'll get like crusted up.
Okay, let's stop.
Okay.
See, I just got to a place I didn't want to go to when you put that imagery in my head.
I want to be 100% clear. I was gonna have him it come out of his wrists. You're the one who locked down on the butt.
That's because we're talking about pooping super glue.
And
it made sense because spiders have the stuff come out of their butts.
I was taking it elsewhere.
Then you said something about it shooting it out and crusting it over, and I was like, that's enough. I got on a different
road, but you wanted to swing back around.
I would like to blow these roads up.
Okay.
With a different thing to talk about.
What do you want to talk about now?
What's your favorite color?
I like blue. What's your favorite color?
I knew your favorite color. Do you know my favorite color?
Green.
Yeah, that's right. We just bonded.
How was your day?
I felt it. I had a good day. It's still going.
It is still going. Do
you want to be done?
Yeah, this is probably the end of the podcast, but which one of these horrible things Graveyard Keeper seems like the best thing that we've made because we made so many bad things here.
We did. I don't know. I liked the powers. I
Really?
did not like Three's Company. I just liked when we talked about the powers. Open world HP game was not great.
That was nothing.
Okay, so it's between Graveyard Keeper and powers, which I don't know why you have to smuggle people to stop them from accumulating. I think maybe at one point you lose if you finally have some kind of combination of powers that kills you.
Yeah.
Like spider butt and invisible hands. So you finally mess up and you can't stop your butt from being glued shut.
Mm-hmm.
Then you die eventually from
old age.
Old age. I was gonna say glue explosion in your colon, but whatever.
I mean, to be fair, you did just say that.
Obviously, I want mine.
Graveyard Keeper 2, too many bodies it is.
Sometimes you gotta let him have one. Gotta throw him a bone.
That's how Graveyard Keepers get it done. Where can people enjoy more Becker's-based content?
I don't want to be found after this episode, so you'll have to check somewhere else. You can find Bryce.
Yeah, you can find me on Twitter at LastGeek, Twitch at LastGeekPlays, YouTube.com/LastGeek. Also, please go to look on podcast services for the podcast Dungeons and Gamers. It's the hot new Last Geek product that we're trying to make a hit. It is probably, some people say it's the best thing we've made. I don't know how many people have listened to all of this stuff, so I'm just saying that like people say it's good. And so you should check it out. It's the Dungeons and Dragons Real Play podcast where we make goof 'em ups and do a cool story. And as I am legally required to state, Beckers plays a bear.
If you didn't say it, I was going to say it.
So Dungeons and Gamers, it's available on youtube.com/lastgeek as a little playlist thingy or on podcast services everywhere. So please
Get
check
in touch with your furry side.
She is the only bear, the only animal on there. So it's not a furry thing. It's just a D&D thing. But that's the podcast. Please enjoy. And remember, have fun. Goodbye.